Hello everyone, we're Group 28 and our team have Jeffrey, Darren, David, Jada, Peter, and I, Nova. We choose to redesign plastic potato bags. The design for chip bags are relatable to our group because we all eat chips from plastic bags occasionally. Plastic chip bags are also relatable to a huge population. Just Lay's, more than 372 million bags sold in the US last year. We learned about the design of chip bags using interviews. The main problem of this design include hands are easy to get dirty, which is mentioned by 15 out of 18 interviewees, and chips cannot be preserved easily, which is mentioned by 4 out of 9 interviewees. Looking at the data, we found out that plastic chip bags are very simple and they do not afford the affordances mentioned as a result. By redesigning plastic chip bags, we hope that the new design can benefit many people.
As for our interview and observation methodology, we did in-person and remote Zoom interviews. We asked our interviewees to use any chip bags that they had available to them in their homes. For some in-person interviews, the interviewer provided the chip bag if the participant did not have one available. Due to the fact that all the interviewers were students, the vast majority of our participants were students within the age of 18 to 22, with the last few participants being within the range of 25 to 54 years of age. We made sure to use the Master Apprentice model to allow the participants to interact with the chip bag and explain their experience without our interference. By doing this, we were able to see any naturally occurring slips or mistakes. We also framed our questions so that they were not leading the participants in any direction and allowed our interviewees to give open-ended responses. We used Google Sheets to contain our interview questions and tasks, as well as the data that we obtained from our interviews. We collected quantitative and qualitative data on trends and problems through observations and questions. We also asked for their opinions on redesign suggestions that they would want in future chip bags, which was later incorporated into our prototypes and redesigns.
From our interviews, we found 5 common trends. The first one was that 14 out of 18 participants did not finish their chip bag and had leftovers. The second one was that 9 out of 14 participants had to fold their bag closed since they did not have a clip. The participants that folded their bag closed also complained about the preservation of the chips. We also found that 15 out of 18 participants did like the bag design. This influences our redesign since although we want to create a new bag design, we also want to keep aesthetic elements of the original bag due to familiarity among the users. We also found out that 11 out of 18 participants wanted to have a sealing mechanism. For our first problem, we found that participants could not reseal the chip bag once it was opened. 14 participants had leftovers, and 9 of them had to roll the bag closed since the bag could not close itself after initially opening it. Rolling the bag causes problems since the chips can get stale. This is because the bag is still technically open and can unravel. Users, though, can clip the bag closed to preserve the chips, but only 5 out of 14 participants had clips readily on them. This problem influenced the focus of our project since we want to create a bag that can close and reseal even after opening. Our second problem is dirty hands, which was a complaint from 15 out of 18 participants. The issue of dirty hands is worsened by the chip bag's design. Its vertical design means that users had to put their entire hand in the bag to get chips. This is especially true when the chips are at the bottom of the bag. This makes their hands even dirtier. Also, the small opening means that users have to squeeze their hand through the bag, which makes their hands dirtier. This problem influenced the focus of our project since we want to reduce the dirtiness that users face when eating chips.
Using the design space charts, we've decided in our redesign to pinpoint the best package types in terms of functionality and preservability using design space 2. From there, we cross-checked it with design space 1 to gauge the sustainability of the products we chose in design space 1. From there, we took a look at design space 3 and concluded the plastic bag was the best material to use for our redesign. The majority of problems emphasized in our 20 interviews had to do with the fact that you could not close traditional chip bags. Our design solution to this was to make the chip opening on the face of the bag to where the user peels the bag open and can close it if they wish. Seen here, you can see the single side opening and the shareable side opening, to which both sides have a resealable adhesive, allowing them to close. Our redesign justification is that the bags can be closed and sealed due to the adhesive, and there are signifiers emphasizing how the bag is supposed to be used, saying peel here and peel here. Moreover, the bag is shareable with its large opening side, and is also able to be used by a single person due to small opening side. The bag can also stand up on its own due to its horizontal nature. Some trade-offs with this redesign of the chip bag is that the two-sided peel may not be as aesthetically pleasing. However, this redesign does solve many of the problems that come with chip bags, and people already have a perception of what chips they like and what they don't, so this should not really affect the market for these bags. Moreover, the cost of production of these bags may increase a little bit because of the peels. However, an implementation of a peel would be a small price for a really substantial change in consumer ratings and will benefit in the long term.
This is the iteration on the double design. So we addressed the problems and defined the issues that we want to tackle for our prototyping and drafting of the final redesign. So some of the problems we addressed was the resealability as well as the opening for the chip, and on top of that, the material choice of the chip bag. So we decided to tackle the preservability of the chip bag as well as the sustainability part. And here are the prototypes. So there was the cellulose film, then we approached the plastic bag with the embedded zipper, but did not work. And then this led to both of them combined together. However, a lot of our studio feedback said it didn't work out because of being clear and it would compromise the contents inside the chip bag. So that did not work. So led to our alternate version, which is very close to our redesign, which is the Oreo-based design packaging with the opening in the center. It offers very easy access for sharing. So people could grab their chips from the center, easy sharing, optimal sharing, much bigger open space compared to the classic chip bag, as well as the ability to be able to be resealed. This was more of a random one or a paper chip bag. It's just for fun, more a different concept. However, grease stains just didn't look as appealing as our Oreo bag concept.
In conclusion, we redesigned the typical chip bag into a bag made of metallized polypropylene that has a resealable horizontal opening. We also decided to include tongs for the users to eat chips with. Our redesign is still not completely perfect, as the resealable opening does not create a completely airtight seal like that of a zipper or an unopened bag. In addition, the tongs may not be as effective when nearing the bottom of the bag, where pieces are typically broken into smaller pieces or crumbs. The portability of tongs is also a limitation, as users may lose the tongs easily or forget its whereabouts after several uses. Our takeaways are that in the process of redesigning, we must learn to balance trade-offs in a way that is most ideal. Also, we must focus on what elements matter the most to users. If we were to continue working on this redesign, we'd continue to find the perfect balance of trade-offs and work to limit the errors of users.